You are listening to The Winningest with Adam Wins. Intelligent information from those that have achieved the highest levels of success to become the winningest in wellness and wealth, bringing you the winningest from around the globe to help you get to the highest levels of winning to become the winningest in everything you do, leading the way to the winningest to get you the winningest levels in your wellness and wealth. Winningest with Adam Wins.
Hey there, this is Adam Wins. This is The Winningest. Today we have a very successful entrepreneur that I'm not even going to introduce. Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit here and tell everybody who we have on the show today and what you're the winningest at?
Oh, thanks, Adam. Well, my name is Rahman Nur. I sell information products. I do it purely through paid advertising. So I do it without the need of an affiliate, without needing to do any kind of SEO or pushing out a ton of content. And the way that I do it is I started out in the affiliate marketing space where I would get a commission. And then eventually I had enough money to where I said to myself, why don't I own the products and own the offers? And so I approached experts in different industries and niches, and I basically just pay them every single month, and they take care of the customer, they take care of the product per se, and I keep 100% of the revenue. And so that's what I've been doing now for the past couple of years. And I do it through webinars, pretty much. That's my medium to.
You are the king of webinars, right? You're a real expert as far as webinars are concerned. I would say you're the winningest at webinars. You've got a great track record for webinars, and I've learned from you, and a lot of other people that are watching can also learn from you. You want to go into that a little bit?
Webinars is pretty much just a medium to deliver your content.
Right.
A lot of people, what they do is they focus on just the webinar itself. But if I were to give it a percentage, I would say that the webinar itself is about 10% of the campaign. It's what happens after that's most important. That's where all of the sales come in. And I see oftentimes people, they start running paid advertising, they run it to the webinar finishes, and they're like, oh, I'm done. Like, I put in the work, I'm done. And I tell them this is when the work starts. This is when you're making money. So I went from having a 2-3 day follow-up. Now I have a 10-day follow-up. Nice. Where I have 4 separate deadlines. And then after that, I email them with content every single day with a call to action that says, by the way, if you want to get the full solution, click this link and register for this on-demand training. And it just loops them right back into that webinar campaign. And so that way, people have gained a lot more comfort with me, comfort with what we have to offer. And then when they watch the webinar again, the conversion rate just goes up and up and up. And so this is what most people lack, I would say, when it comes to running webinars or any marketing campaign for that matter. Is they don't see it like the audience they're building is an asset. And so as you say, and in the investment world and in stock and things like that, you only lose money when you sell it when it's short, right? And so what people do is they run traffic, they stop marketing to the audience, and then they say they've lost money. And I have that mentality of an investor, someone who's purchasing like digital real estate. Right. And I tell them, look, you will never lose money on advertising if you always market to your audience. You're always going to make money from them. So this is something that I believe is very important. And hopefully that gives a guiding point to people in your audience that are running paid traffic. Is you're never going to lose the money if you're constantly emailing, constantly giving great bite-sized pieces of content, and then delivering a call to action that puts the person back into your initial marketing campaign.
Absolutely. And definitely it's always in the follow-up. How many touch points? I mean, there's this golden rule in marketing that you have to talk to somebody 8 times.
7, yes.
What's your traditional number of touch points that you get with your clients on the follow-up, and how many different methods are you using? So are you just doing email? Are you doing text messages? Are you sending them more content? How much content are you putting out? What's the real key to your success?
So what I do is basically the initial ads are through Facebook ads. So that's where I get the initial audience.
Okay.
Once they enter in their name and email address. They get email, so that's one touch point. They get messenger messages, so that's another touch point.
Nice. Yeah.
Messages on my thank you page. So as soon as they register, what I have is I tell them click here for the to get them into the messenger, and we got over 90% get into the messenger over the period of a few days. So that's a lot. And so what our audience basically in a way kind of doubles, but really it's the same audience. It's just we got another touch point. So messenger, Facebook, email, YouTube, and this is retargeting ads on YouTube, retargeting ads on Facebook, retargeting ads on banner. So that's another touch point. Email, that's basically the touch points there. It's important to increase the different marketing channels that you have available. You're always going to make money from that. So just the other day, for example, we had just a quick sale that came in from a guy who has subscribed a couple months ago. Sent out a broadcast where I spoke about the 4 different businesses to completely avoid and why. He said he watched it 5 times over the night. And the next day he said, look, I have the money. I'm going to wire it. What's your wire details, or how do I pay you? So I just sent that to him the other day, and he popped into the bank and paid. People also mentioned to me, hey, why don't you use merchant accounts? Why don't you use PayPal and Stripe and set up all these different merchant accounts? And I tell them, like, I want to have my foundation set up properly. If I end up using a merchant account and I make too much money too fast, according to what they think is too much money and what they think is too much of a spike, I'm going to have an issue. So I would rather make less money, be stable, and scale up that way. And I realized that my conversion rates really didn't dip on a wire transfer, contrary to belief, because the person is absolutely sold. So Adam, if I told you, pay me this amount of thousands of dollars and you're going to make $1 million, you don't care how you're going to pay me. You're going to pay me whatever way I mention.
Exactly. And for what I do with investors, I mean, you have to get that in your brain. You're always sending wire transfers to your broker account. So why would I accept something different? You know, you can't play the stock market with your credit card. You can't. I mean, some people invest in their business with the credit card. I don't think that's the way you should do it. You should have the money in your bank account and send it. I mean, people that are investing in you, they're investing in their business. So they're investing in themselves, essentially. So if they don't have it, you know, do you even want them spending it on their credit card? It's just creating more problems for them, which generally when people get problems, they want to give them to you, you know? So I wholeheartedly agree with that. Absolutely. So I saw a post of yours today and it really resonated with me, and it was about integrity, right? So it was about something called situational integrity. And a lot of us, you mentioned about the book that you just read. I've got it on order. Nice. The Kingmaker.
Yeah, absolutely incredible book. There we go.
Nice. Do you want to tell everybody at home about a little bit about and let me in on the secret? So you got some kingdoms there that it's talking about, right?
So it's a guy called Carl Ellis who's got like a kind of a PR/consulting firm. His purpose is basically to find purpose-driven individuals that he likes, that he vibes with, and he wants to basically help them as much as he can in any regard. So he wants to make sure that, you know, everything. His gift is basically bringing out the best in other people's potential, and so he's got these 4 kings. 2 of them are doing extremely well. 2 of them all of a sudden had just completely crazy problems. And so he goes on, he flies out to go meet them. This guy got 3 private jets. He's got an assistant who's just phenomenal. And this personal assistant pilots the plane. He can pilot the plane. It's
nice.
And what I learned here more than anything actually was the level of the conversations that they were having. They were always talking about ideas. They were never talking about people. They were always talking about solutions, never talking about problems. And they were always putting thought into what they were saying. Nice. So they weren't speaking so much, but everything they said had so much weight. And anyway, so what happened here was the conclusion to the book was that the two kings that had a problem, it was because of situational integrity. And situational integrity is basically when everyone's got a defined set of principles for what they feel is integrity. You could be the worst criminal in the world, or you can be an upstanding citizen. Everyone's got that line.
Yep.
And so what happens with situational integrity is when you cross that line just because you want what's on the other side for you.
Yes.
For example, just now when you mentioned about people who can only pay with a credit card shouldn't go and just jump in and invest into a business because now they got too much on the line. So if I had situational integrity, I would say, oh, that's a couple $1,000. I'll just take that money.
Right.
Knowing that this person is going to feel very tight on money, knowing that it's probably not going to work out, but I made my money. And so that is what we would call situational integrity. And so what I learned from this book is whenever you have, and this is from his experience with these kings, when somebody has situational integrity, it's because they're lacking in purpose. They're greedy, and they're greedy because they're lacking in purpose. If you have a purpose and you're purpose driven, you're going to do what's good for the purpose, what's good for the transaction that's happening between you and the other person. And if it's against your purpose, you won't do it, regardless of what you stand to lose from it. So basically, one of the kings he spoke to, and he told him that everything that you've learned was from me. I apologize because I went away from my purpose, and I have to have situational integrity, and you fed off that. And so he invited him to basically start being purpose driven, go all in and listen to him, and he's going to help him out. One of the kings completely defied him, and the other one basically was in tears and said, all right, I'm all in. What do you want me to do next? And that guy burnt through all of his contacts. He didn't care. He was just like, friends are for losers, and as long as I do the deal, nothing else matters. But he changed, and the other one didn't. And so that's how the book concluded.
So the moral of the story is stick with your ethics and your integrity. And it gets challenging sometimes. I have to say, when I help people, sometimes that I almost get too involved and away from my purpose in some cases. So I get a lot of different, you get a lot of different things when you help people with their money. And there's, as you said, I was at an event recently with the richest families in the world. It was a family office conference. And there's a lot of very wealthy people. And those very wealthy people, the majority of them lack a purpose. They've got all the money in the world. They're unhappy. They've got drug problems, alcohol problems, family problems. Their kids hate them, all these different things. And they just don't know why they're here or what that, what that means. So how do you really help me out here? How do you really stay on purpose? How do you really stay on message? What do you do daily that keeps you in this alignment? Obviously, you read a lot of books and fill your head with good information. What do you do besides things like, get that great information from really smart people? What do you do daily to stay purpose-minded and purpose-driven? And when you get, let's say, out of alignment and you falter a little bit in your own let's say integrity or situational integrity, because it's impossible to always stay so firm. There's always something that you might sway from. How do you stay focused? What is it that's your driver?
I would say the number one thing is not needing much. A lot of people, when they lose their purpose and they get greedy, is because they want more. They want this, they want that, they want that car, they want that watch, they want that house. I live so simple, man. No watches, man. I just popped downstairs to an empty library here.
Nice.
And like, I don't need much. Personally, I don't need much. But that doesn't mean that I have small goals.
Of
People
course.
attach their goals to things they can have
Yeah.
and experiences they can have.
Not one Tesla, but 5 Teslas, right? You know,
Yeah,
like
stupid things like that. And that
three jets, right? Like you said, the guy had 3 jets. Why you need 3 jets? You can only fly in one at one time. It's
and
insane.
he only used in the whole book. He only used one of them, which was his favorite one.
Right.
So, like, people attach success to being able to attain things, and what they don't realize is that by sticking to your purpose, money is that huge side effect.
Yes.
That's all money is. Money is just a side effect of you realizing your purpose.
Yeah.
And so I know this already. So anytime that I've never really swayed from it. I've never really gotten to a point where I was like greedy. Well, it happened once or twice where I got greedy and then I got burnt and made a mistake.
Yeah.
But I realized from that experience that I should just stick to my purpose.
Always.
And that's it. Just stick to my purpose, do my thing, and scale up. And my purpose has nothing to do with making more money. But the moment I stick to that, I'm making a lot more. And so, and I don't need much. Like,
so go back. Let's go back a little bit. And your purpose. So my purpose is helping other people. That's what I like to do. That's my focus on, let's say, making myself better every day. That's my purpose. And my purpose is also to bring other people and rise up with those people. What's your purpose?
My purpose is I want to give people the education they need to better themselves, have the time and money freedom that they desire so that they can fulfill their purpose. I don't want to be the guy who invents the next big thing, save the world type of guy. But I would love to facilitate the person who does that. So this is what it is for me. And I've seen, I didn't grow up with money. When I was growing up, I couldn't even afford a cinema ticket to go hang out with friends. Nothing. I couldn't afford anything like that. And when I started making money, I realized, how much it can do for you. And so I said to myself, like, I want to go ahead and help someone out. And any dream that I had my whole life, I always said, oh, I want to do this and I want to help people out. I want to do this and I want to help people out. And then I realized, like, actually, the thing that I want to do is I just want to help people out.
Yeah.
And there was a particular actor who said this. I can't remember his name, but what he said was the greediest thing you can do, or the most selfish thing you can do, is helping someone else out, because it makes you feel so damn good.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
And that's true. And this
but
is
you're great at it. I mean, you really, I gotta say, you've been instrumental and helped me out in a lot of things, and you're a great explainer. You're an amazing orator. So your verbal communication skills are, they're a genius level. I mean, the way that you present is very well digested. So it really comes across amazing. So you've got a skill, a blessing, whatever it is you've been given as a talent, is definitely communicating that story really well.
Thank you. My rule of thumb is give as much context as you can in its little content. Yeah. I don't like the fluff.
Yeah.
And so most webinars, they go on for 90 minutes and it's 5-10 minutes of digestible context.
Right.
So I don't like that. If I go on for 90 minutes, it's 90 minutes of context.
Which is good.
Yeah, give or take a few minutes. Maybe a little bit of fluff, or I elaborate a point across 2 or 3 times just because it's important. But I like to keep it as short as possible and as direct and to the point as possible.
So do you help with your clients also finding purpose? I've read, Think and Grow Rich, The Science of Getting Richer by Waddles, and they're all about that one thing. I mean, I think Think and Grow Rich says on the 3rd page, if you get this one thing, you can stop reading this entire book. If, your definitive purpose. Is that something that you actively work on with your clients? I mean, do they have to have a purpose for you to work with them? Or can you work with people that are lost?
People that are lost, a blank slate.
Okay.
I like blank slates that have a full-time job that are looking to elevate themselves and they have no idea where they're going. And
Nice.
the reason is because it's harder to teach an old dog new tricks.
Yes.
That's number one. So it's much easier telling someone like, hey, this is how it works, and they have no other reference point. So they're like, I have to do it Rahman's way.
Yeah.
So this is something that I like in terms of selling information regarding sales and marketing and making money.
Love it.
And so also what happens is they don't fall into the pitfalls that I fell into. And so I can help them out throughout there. And
Sure.
they don't have that, they still got that enthusiasm in the market because they haven't been burnt so many times.
Right.
And they haven't lost, well, they've lost some money, but they haven't lost so much money. They haven't been years into it without any results and things like that. So they're still fresh meat, I call them. I like fresh meat.
Nice.
So these are the people I like to work with. As far as like affiliates go, I love to work with people that are just starting out in the affiliate space or have run paid ads, but they're not experts.
Okay.
And I go ahead and I give them the tools they need. And I have a really like boutique affiliate program. They pay to get into my affiliate program.
Nice.
I have the information products in place for them. I help them set up the all the tests on the ads are done by me, so they don't have to test adverts,
Okay.
including targets, the marketing campaign, that the follow-up system that I spoke about and everything. I code to them. I take care of them. So and I teach them also. So it's very hands-on.
Nice.
And regarding that, I love to take care of again the people that are just flat out beginners. That's my market.
Nice. That's a really smart, and it's again points to your expertise that you know exactly what kind of clients you want.
Yeah.
You know, because I deal with a lot of investors that are up there in age in their 60s and 70s that A, don't know their purpose, and B, don't know what they want, you know, I mean, from business or from life or anything like that. So
yeah.
With that being said,
you may have heard them talk about kingdom a lot. Like, I want to build my kingdom.
yeah,
A lot of these guys, they're just too focused on ego.
yeah, I know, man. It's a tough one to get people to really break down and just admit that they have a problem, and that if they just looked at it and figured out who the heck they were and what the heck they want, their problems would be solved. You know, it's not, life isn't really that complicated, I find. And it's just a matter of knowing exactly who the heck you are, and you've got that well figured out. I'm proud of you on that. Like, super admire you for that. And, you know, knowing what you want down to such a science of, I know exactly what kind of customer, I know what he looks like, I know what he sounds like, I know what kind of job he has, I know what I want and the person that I want to help. That's I commend you in that. So
Thank you.
Someone that is that person. So if anybody's listening and they do not know what they want, they do not know, you know, they're a fresh slate, they've not done this before, what kind, how can they get in touch with you? Where do they find you? You know, what's the best way to get on your team?
Just follow me on Facebook. I don't really, everything I sell is on paid ads. I keep real quiet.
I got you.
So, all I can say is plug into whatever Adam is doing, follow him, and he's a real guy. And anything he says, invest in, jump on full board.
Hey, thank you.
He's a good guy. He's going to take care of you. We spoke many times about things, and all he talks about is how well he wishes to take care of his clients. He never once spoke to me about the money he's making or what he can pocket from it. It was always about what he can do for you. So follow Adam and his content, and you'll do incredibly well.
Wow, brother, that was amazing. I didn't expect that. Thank you so much. That's great. So we're gonna wrap up here in just a minute. I want to know a little bit. I think everybody wants to know where you're at and what you're doing, because you're a world traveler. I see you out and about everywhere, which is super impressive. where are you nowadays? What's your plans moving forward? And where are you taking things to the next level?
I'm right now in Asia, pretty
Okay.
much just traveling around here. Um, I don't really talk too much about my goals, but I am intending to scale up very aggressively outside of just Facebook. Um, I want to set up an affiliate network and bring it out to the affiliate world.
Nice.
I haven't tapped on that at all. I haven't spoken to anyone in JVZoo, any of the CPA marketers and affiliate marketers that I know. There's the affiliate world Asia that happens once a year. I think they go out they're in Vegas also once a year.
Yep.
So maybe I'll touch base with some of the speakers, get a little bit more involved, actually go out and talk to people.
Yeah, I'd love to see you on stage at one of those events. You're one of my favorite personalities to listen to. You're just
Thank you.
It's never wasted time. So if you spend 5 minutes with you, there's always a nugget to be had. And it really, I have to say, it's paid off for me in financially. I mean, I've actually listened to you, followed what you said, and I've made money. It's that simple. So that's my advice to anybody that wants to get on your level, which is really you're really good at what you do. So if anybody wants to get in contact, you can go through me, add them to Rahman's Facebook there, and we'll connect you through those means. So any other little nuggets of wisdom you want to give before we end up here?
Focus on one offer. Don't, if you're getting started, never sell physical products. The margins are too low. Focus on one traffic source. People say go and diversify. Don't do that. Focus on one traffic source. Master that one traffic source. YouTube is hot right now. Facebook is still hot. Advertising is never expensive. It's only that you don't know how to monetize it. To me, advertising is cheap. I don't look at how much I spend as opposed to how much I make. We do pretty large returns. Never stop marketing to your audience. What I do is, for example, this week, I'm going to do a 30-day email sequence. So 30 bite-sized pieces of content, 30 emails, and then a call to action to go back to the automated webinar. And I'm going to do that in a space of 24 hours. So do everything in batches and then send them out. If you do a marketing campaign, so let's say you do an email campaign where you're giving a piece of content and saying, by the way, register here, add it into your follow-up. So when the person when you start running the ads, you're starting to stack those automated emails, and never ever stop emailing. I can't emphasize the importance there.
Right.
Never stop emailing. That's it, really.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my piece of advice specifically there. And anybody else? I mean, who are your audience, by the way?
Oh, we've got a very broad audience. I've got investors, high net worth individuals. We've got a lot of people from the family office that come in to, from LinkedIn and different places like that. So it's a wide range, and we have entrepreneurs. So I just recently did a new partnership with TSS. They do some tax services for entrepreneurs, and they have ways to lower the tax rates for entrepreneurs. And then we're actually helping them invest those things. So, entrepreneurs to people that are really high net worth. So we can help people at, all levels. So we're just trying to bring, let's say, the highest caliber of people to as many people as possible to lift them up and give them that information like you just gave them. Like, don't stop emailing. Like, a lot of people will hear those things like email is dead, and then they'll like just go into something else and text and, these kind of things. And just listening to what you said, don't ever stop emailing. Like, you just reinforced it in my head again. Like, I need to email more and more and more and more. Why do I slow down on that? I appreciate, again, you always hit the right buttons. So
thank you. One final piece of advice, but I'll ask you this question, and then people will understand it a little bit more. when you started going to the gym a lot more,
Yeah.
and clean,
Yeah.
how much more productive have you been?
Oh, so it's not only about the gym.
Yeah.
So it's about a lot more than the gym. It's diet. So,
Diet,
you know,
sleep,
I lost 20, 25 pounds as a minimum. I did it because my doctor told me if you didn't do it, you're going to have diabetes. You're going to die sooner than later. I have kids. I want to have, you know, I want to enjoy my money that I make. I don't want to have my kids only enjoy it. You know, I like to enjoy it with them.
Yeah.
So I've been extremely more productive when I wake up now and I meditate. So the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I mindfulness meditate. So I'm focused on now, which most people never even think of now or never operating in now. So I do that while I sauna, because sauna has been proven to be the number one, let's say, determination of longevity. So people that saunted 7 days a week over 20 years live longer than people that saunted 6. There was more alive after the 20 years, and the people that saunted 6 than 5, and 5 than 4, and all the way down the line. So the exercise portion of things is, it just makes me feel good, and it's a lot easier. But it's really diet, sauna, meditation, you know, in that order. And the sauna is just, you know, there's so many benefits of sauna above your immune system, your growth hormone, you know, you just feel like $1,000,000 and ready to start the day. So I spend, you know, 8 in the morning till, you know, 8:30, 30 minutes a day. I've got YouTube mindfulness meditation sitting there just inside of myself. And then, you know, I'm ready to start the day in the now, as opposed to, you know, thinking about like all the emails that I have to do or all this future tense stuff that really can start to boggle you down and stop you from being who you are and what you want. You know, I mean, everything is in the world to separate yourself from your power, and your power is you, and your power is God, and whatever you believe is your source of power. And you have to, let's say, speak to that on a daily basis and actually nurture that in self-care. Nobody's gonna, you can't, there's no pill for it, and nobody's gonna do it for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I do the same thing. Mine is sauna. Like I wake up,
Get on sauna.
I got to do the sauna.
I'll send you some of the stats on it. Like there's a 20-year study, and it just blew my mind when you see the decrease in cognitive problems. So people that actually did sauna, they have a much lower rate of MS, Parkinson's disease, dementia, all those types of things, as well as diabetes, all the way down the line. Your health problems just go from like here to like, you know, non-existent. It's the number one thing you can do.
I'm gonna do the sauna today at the gym.
Nice. Nice.
I like, for high net worth people, I can't really talk too much about what routine they should have. But what I can say is definitely add exercise to it. I've seen a lot of high net worth people. I don't deal with them, but I do talk with them and hang out. A lot of them are very unhealthy. They never they always talk about money, but they never talk about health. And it's hurting you in more ways than just your health. It's hurting your money too. What I do is I wake up, I go straight to the gym.
Nice.
I don't open my phone, laptop, nothing.
Smart.
Not even, I don't listen to anything. On the way to the gym, I'm thinking about my day. I'm thinking about already having achieved my goals. Visualize. I'm meditating pretty much.
Yes.
I head to the gym. Then I put on my headphones, and now I'm listening to something productive as I'm working out. I don't care that I'm not going to retain 90% of what I hear. Even if I retain 5% of what I hear, is better than the background music at the gym.
Oh yeah.
I work out. I have a shower at the gym. I eat steak. I'm changed and everything. I sit down and I get on with my work. For the first few hours of my work, nobody can contact me. The world can be on fire. If the room I'm in is not on fire, I don't notice.
I love it.
And then I go ahead and I check what's been going on, and I check my Facebook and things like that. Even when I write out posts, for example, on Facebook, I write it outside of Facebook and then I just paste it in.
Smart.
I check, and like I did a post recently on my Facebook, 4 minutes a day. I was on Facebook the other week.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
and
really
you wouldn't
smart.
even know because you think I'm very active on Facebook.
Just copy paste. Nice.
Copy and paste. I don't respond to anyone. I don't. Most of the time, I don't check things, and I'm out. And
But I do miss you. I haven't seen you as much as normal. So I want to see more. I want to see more of these nuggets. I love them.
I've been a little bit busy.
I know. Yeah. That's a definite good thing. So keep it up. And again, it was wonderful to hear from you. It was wonderful for all the nuggets. I really appreciate it. You are one of the highest level thinkers that I know. You've got a really high IQ. And, you know, if anybody's thinking about getting into what you do, want to learn more about traffic and monetizing and just the right way to do things without falling down, they have to speak to you. So again, thank you so much for being on the show. Have a great day. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Have a good one, brother.
Bye-bye. Do I just click leave studio?